Peace and blessings, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to yet another edition of Royalty with Saran. Today, we have a good one for you. Today, in light of the fact that we actually will begin plant power detox tomorrow, as opposed to today, as originally planned, um, the conversation today, I changed the topic and I'm going to go through detoxification today as the focus for our conversation. And I'm hoping that there will be a few persons who participated in the previous detoxes sharing their experience as to what they went through the last time. I'm also going to go through our handy dandy detox box as well, the Antigan edition. I know there are two versions. The deluxe one I offer recently to my international customers. So their box is slightly different. But I'm going to go through our box, talk about the supplements. I'm also going to spend a little time talking about exactly what detoxification is. Um, we tend to we tend to use the word very loosely. And so I want to spend some time to discuss that. And yeah, and if there are any questions, any comments, any contribution, of course, you're welcome to add in your 2 cents to the conversation. So once again, peace, peace, peace. Again, we're streaming live on Facebook and we're also streaming live on Zoom. So if you see me looking that way, I'm looking at my Zoom participation in terms of messages and questions and things like that. Hi, Antoinette. Greetings, Queen. So let's get started. Um, Let me just say I have been really, really blessed being able to do what I love. I truly, truly love it. And not because it gives me just a sense of satisfaction doing detoxes and things like that, but if I thought that I was placed here to do something else, I would be doing something else. But that's how confident I am that in this time and place, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm very, very grateful to be able to do it, and not only to do it, but to see the community's response to it, to recognize how much it has impacted people's lives, to see also the growth and the excitement behind everything. So I just want to say, let me start with that. I'm very, very grateful. In terms of detoxification, a lot of times, like I said before, we interchange that word. We just say, some people would think, okay, if you take two laxatives and you're sitting on the toilet and you have the runs, I'm detoxing. But yet you leave the toilet and you go to KFC to buy your lunch. You will eat whatever you want. In my opinion and my teaching, detoxification is a lot different than just taking laxatives. And so, with that in mind, when it was time for me to compile my detox box, plant power detox box, I was very cognizant of what it is that the body really needs in order to position itself in the most optimal place in order to release, while at the same time introducing proper nutrition, introducing the know-how and the consciousness about eating well, moving your body, being well in your mental capacity. And so, yes, there are a lot of detox on the market that offers, supplements, and it's usually fasting, whether it be, your raw juices and your smoothies and things like that. I opted not to go in that direction for a few reasons. The first one being my intention is for it to be a lifelong change in somebody's life. And so, with that in mind, if you're juicing, it's a little bit more difficult for persons to juice. It can also work out to be expensive depending on what you're juicing and the type of juicer that you have. And so I didn't want 14 days to be burdensome on your pocket. I wanted it to be a way for you to recognize how inexpensive eating healthy could be once you focus on seasonal foods, local foods, and things like that. And not only that, to shift your mindset in terms of when we think about plant based food, a lot of times people just think salad. Plant based eating is a lot more than that, it's a lot more enjoyable. And so, the idea again behind the detox is for it to have a lifelong impact. It's something that it's also meeting most persons where we are. The reality is, a lot of us engage in eating habits that are far, far, far from optimal. Most of us roll with the standard American diet, and that also includes us, even though the majority of the persons on the call would be from Antigua. It's still the same Western eating. It's the same high fried, lots of high fried foods, lots of refined sugars, lots of refined grains, and things like that. And so, if you're leaving from that place, I don't want to force you to go to juicing. And there's a reason for that. Not that I do not recognize the benefits of juice fasting and water fasting and all the different fasts. But the truth is, if this is where you are and you're taken here to juice fasting, then you're going to do it for 14 days. You're going to suffer through it for 14 days. And once that 14 days is done, it's back to business as usual. You line up in KFC line. For those in the US, you go back to your Mickey D's and you start eating and going back to the regular lifestyle. And so for me, that's not, that's not what I want. I want for us to be mindful about the foods that we select. I want for us to be conscious about taking time, honoring yourself enough to prepare foods for yourself. And so that's why the program is designed this way. So again, for me, detoxification is positioning your body in the most optimal place in order to release toxins. And while at the same time adding assistance to the body through herbs and through proper nutrition. Okay, so that's an overview as to what I would define it as. In terms of who should do a detox, a lot of time when I talk to persons about detox, oh, I don't want to lose any weight. Get it? Not everybody's intention is to lose weight. Some persons are small, some persons are really petite. So the understanding of not requiring or not wishing to lose weight, I get it. But at the same time, do we all need a detox? Yes, we do. Because the only difference between the physically fit and the thin amongst us and everybody else is probably just your metabolism. But it's very likely that we eat the same things. And reality is, even if you're eating clean, we're all in the state of where we are now. We're not in pristine environments anymore. We go outside, there are lots of cars, the exhaust and everything. All of these factors have an impact on us and thus requiring us to take time to detox, to get these toxins out of our bodies. A lot of us, again, with the topical skincare things that we use, a lot of times they're laden with toxins. Our perfumes, or our body sprays and things like that. Especially for women, we have an attachment to things like that. Makeup, again, toxins. So we are consistently bombarded with toxins. And so for this reason, detoxing should never be something that you do to lose weight. Whether or not you're in perfect physical body, we all need to detox because we're all, again, exposed to the different elements that I mentioned. And of course, technology has an impact as well. We're all being quote unquote radiated to some extent because we're all now connected to the Wi-Fi system. And, of course, there are many benefits to it, but at the same time, there's also a negative impact as well. And so we take time to really reset. And that's the best way that I define the benefits of a detox. You truly get an opportunity to reset your body, to jumpstart different things. Um, I really want to send out a link to this. Oh gosh, one moment there, please. Let me send this. I'm so sorry. Please bear with me. Um, okay, so my apologies. I am back. Okay. And so, as I was saying, yeah, so the reset mode is something that is very, very needed for all of us, you know. And what I love about plant power detox is not just focus on the physical body, but my recommendation is for us to do a detox every quarter. And this is something that, you know, our foreparents did. There's some, they were always connected to the equinox, you know, and they did certain things around that time, cleansing, purifying yourself, and things like that. Those habits we have abandoned completely. But ideally, you want to take time, and 14 days is an ideal time to do so because it gives your body an opportunity to not feel the hit, not to only feel the hit of a detox, but to also mellow out on it. There are sometimes when you do a detox, it might manifest itself on your skin, your kidneys flushing, and you know, you're ridding yourself of toxins. 14 days is an optimal number because it gives you the chance to break out and to modify that. And so 14 days is a really good number for that. I've seen a lot of beautiful transformations happen within that window of time. And outside of that, you know, I love how it's structured because here, right now, in terms of our stress levels and our anxiety and things like that, I think the way in which the program is structured, it kind of forces you to take time and breathe, to take time and reflect, to take time and focus your attention on you and loving you for 14 days. It's very easy for us to get sucked up and sucked into just catering to everybody. Um, right. Okay, I'm so sorry. Cater to everybody, and you know, you're left in the background. As you know, whatever residue you have at the end of the day, that's the time you give to yourself, and then before you know it, you're falling asleep because you're so exhausted. But the program really, really, it kind of forces you, and that's what I love about the community on WhatsApp. You see that it's not only you, and you recognize the need to take time to breathe, to take time to cook for yourself, feed yourself, nourish yourself, plate your food as if you are queens and kings, because that's exactly what we are, you know. And so I'm very, very proud of what the program is. So I'm going to go through next. I spoke about what it is, who should do it. So it's pretty much all of us. There are a few persons on the who have done the regimen several times over, and they have extended it to their children. So yes, children can do a milder version of detox. They have their versions of it. You know what I mean? And I can customize a lot of it because it is handmade. There's some persons who have actually gotten pregnant on the detox and also done the detox while pregnant as well. Of course, the supplements would be tailored to fit their specific needs. And also, persons who are breastfeeding have done it, again, customized. And so it's an opportunity to, you know, it pretty much covers everybody because of the fact that it can be tailored to fit the person's need. So who should detox? All of us. Doesn't matter if you're this size or this size. It's not something that can be judged physically. When we go to buy foods, how much of it has been sprayed with pesticide? And how does your body naturally release these toxins from your body? You know, taking a break, utilizing the herbs to help remove these things from the body. That's a great way to start. So, anyhow, so that is who should do it and what it is. Again, it's very different from just taking laxatives. Very, very different. If you're taking laxatives where you're moving toxins out of your colon, and you're reintroducing toxins, to me is just an even exchange. You have toxins going out and toxins coming in, so there's no detoxification process. You've just pretty much exchanged toxins for toxins. Okay, so that's my take on it. Are there any questions in the gallery from Zoom or anybody? Please feel free to post your questions, and I hope y'all not going to be shy on me today, as per usual. I hope that it will be an engaging thing, so I don't actually look as if I'm just pushing plant power and it hasn't had a benefit to my people. So I hope my people on Zoom will be able to put their hands up and give feedback as to what they experienced on it. And it doesn't matter what cycle you would have done. Okay, so that's who should do it, what it is. Now, I have right here the detox box for April 2022. So what a few of you may know by now, you would have caught on to the fact that when you get your box, usually it's not identical to the one you had before. A lot of what I do is influenced by spirituality to some extent. It's also influenced by the climate of the world, the different things that we're going through, especially as a country and by extension as Earth. And so there are different things that, I would be inspired to add, to remove, and things like that. So there's always a little twist and a little turn to the box. So I'm going to go through this cycle's detox box with everybody. And we're going to start with, I don't know how high I have to go with Facebook, but this is our Rise and Shine tea. Rise and Shine tea, as much as I can subtract and I can replace and this and that, I honestly think that if I remove the Rise and Shine tea, I would be in trouble with people because it's definitely a tea that a lot of people enjoy. It's something that is ordered right after the detox is done because it's, of course, if you're familiar with the program, you know that everything that I do is significantly influenced by ancestral practices and things of that nature. And so for us as Caribbean people, Antiguan people specifically, you know that when you smell lemongrass, you're instantly reminded, you're transported right back to your childhood. You know what I mean? It's something that's very, very close to us in terms of how we think about starting a day. It's a scent that's very, sometimes even when you wear a scent of lemongrass, when you go places, people get excited. Who have bush tea? Things like that, because it's something to me very nostalgic. It's something that they did, and there was very good reason behind doing it too, especially as a way of starting your day. So your Rise and Shine tea is going to be a good boost. It's going to be something that gets you going for the day without giving you a coffee type high. Okay, so of course, if you're familiar with the program, you know that lemongrass, bay leaf, rosemary, cinnamon, oregano, and it's Caribbean cinnamon to be specific. Do I have a question? Hi, Keegan. So, okay, I don't think so. Okay. So that's the Rise and Shine tea. And then let me see what to pull out next. I will go with the liver and kidney formula. And of course, you're getting 14 days supply of all the supplements. Okay, so the liver and kidney formula is something that I love because one, it has one of my, not one of, I think I can safely say it has my favorite herb in it, and that's dandelion root and leaves. And so it's a formulation: dandelion root, leaves, milk thistle, and nettle. So that's your liver and kidney. Again, doing a proper and this is where you can notice the differentiation between taking laxatives and doing a detox. We detox our bodies, the organ systems that are responsible for taking toxins out of your liver, kidney, and your adrenals. And so the liver and kidney formulas, because of the nature of our foods and the way we down things that are just really, really damaging to our kidneys especially, it's easy for us to just appreciate that we all have to some extent compromised kidney functions. And so the liver, kidney, and adrenal formula is designed to really offer support to those systems in order to release toxins. Okay, so that's your liver and kidney formula. Next up, your parasitic cleanse. Um, the parasitic cleanse. Every time I talk about parasites, I have to chuckle because when we talk about parasites, a lot of people are like, like, oh, I don't have any, and that type of thing. Of course, I'm plant-based, and in that community, we tend to dismiss that as a meat-eating problem, and it really isn't. Again, for those who are on Zoom, I'm quite sure many of you have heard my story in terms of my experience with parasites as a plant-based person, as somebody who was eating very, very clean at the time. But so anyhow, I'm just of the contention that we all have them. Of course, lesser extent if you're plant-based as opposed to if you have meat and all that decay and things taking place in your body. And so the parasitic cleanse, it's neem, it's fennel, it's clove, it's cascara, and I interchange between wormwood and black walnut as well. So that's your parasitic cleanse for you. Anti-inflammatory capsules. Who amongst us not inflamed in some way? I don't know anybody. And so the anti-inflammatory capsules, now what a lot of the feedback is on the regimen also for persons who are overweight, who experience daily discomfort in terms of knee aches, joints, and that type of thing, they absolutely love the anti-inflammatory. That's something that they take on the regimen and they order exactly afterwards because it really does help with that inflamed feeling, especially in your joints and your joints. Okay, so that's your anti-inflammatory capsules. Beautiful combination of your turmeric, your ginger, and your black pepper. Of course, if you're familiar with how turmeric works in the body, it works and it's easier for your body to absorb it when it's combined with black pepper. Okay, so that's your anti-inflammatory capsules. Let me see what's up next. This time around, for persons who did it the last time, you would notice a change this time around. We have immune system support. This kind of substitute for the wellness brew that we had last time around. And so with your immune system support, I think we all know, coming out of the last 2 years, that your immune system is vital. And we often engage in behavior that's just, it's just not conscious of the fact that we have an immune system. And it's our personal duty to make sure it is as robust and rigorous as possible. And so this formula is one that I really, really love. Again, leaning heavily on our local herbs, the moringa in that. And when I tell you, this is something a lot of times people say, oh, why you don't just keep making? I could keep making, but I want to make in terms of making formulas. I make them, and every cycle I want to ensure that you get the freshest batch possible. So I don't want you getting supplements that I created 2 months ago. So just before, not bragging on myself or anything, but I'm very, very intentional about giving the best quality. I could mass produce them. I could keep making it because I know I'm having another cycle in July. I won't do that because I want you to get maximum potency in terms of the quality of the herbs. So that one is heavily leaning on your moringa. It also has your elderberry and things like that too. Now, when you do things like that in terms of your immune support, now, if you're really, really congested and clogged with mucus, you may feel like a drain. You may feel like almost like you're catching a cold throughout the detox. That is very common. I wish I could say that, your detox is beds and, a bed of rose and it's a lot of fun. It's not always that way. And that's just the truth of what it is. Okay, so let's move on to the other formula. Next up, we have in regards to the skin and hair caps. Ooh, let me see that one. Yes, the skin and hair capsules. Very, very good. Good observation, Patrice. It has, and that's again based on processing the herbs. I'm sorry. Let me repeat the question on Zoom. The person said the skin and hair capsules, the color of the formula has changed. I'll get to that. It's in the box, so I'll talk about that a little soon, Patrice. So next up, bowel support. Your bowel support now is when you're cleaning your colon or you're deliberate about doing it, it's important for you to do, in my opinion anyway, there are different ways in which herbal laxatives, and I use that word loosely here, function in the body. Some are stimulants and others are bulking. In terms of your bulking herbs, the bowel support is exactly that. It's one that's aloe vera based and also psyllium husk based. So that's the purpose and function of that one. That, of course, again, coupling with the parasitic cleanse, those are a part of your nighttime formulas. Next up, one of my faves, your colon cleanse one. So your colon cleanse one, again, in terms of your herbal laxatives, stimulants, you will always hear me say that cascara is my go-to for it because it's something that's predictable. For most persons, almost across the board, they don't experience griping with it. They have no discomfort with it. And it's something that you can take the night before and expect a heavier movement in the morning. And so it's very predictable. It's not something that's going to have you, oh gosh, I can't go to work and that type of thing. So for that reason, I really, really like colon cleanse one. Okay. Next up, colon cleanse two. Not exactly the way I would describe colon cleanse one. Colon cleanse two is using, again, ancestral stuff. So that one has senna leaf in it. Now, as a herbalist, I gotta be honest and make it 100 with y'all. Senna is probably my least favorite herb. And that is because I am in that fraction of persons who it irritates. So every time I do something with senna, I have to buffer it with maybe ginger tea or something like that. And the good thing about it, you take this just before bed and then you have your anti-inflammatory in the morning to buffer it. And so you more than likely won't feel any discomfort while on the regimen. But for me, just personally, if I down a whole lot of senna by itself, it's a problem in terms of gripe. And yeah, I don't need to go through a whole lot of stress in order to clean your colon, But in combination, so these would be your nighttime formulas, your colon cleanse one, two, your parasitic cleanse, and your bowel support. And we also have your next up, your detox support powder. Of course, that's a charcoal, activated charcoal blend. It also has your bentonite clay, your food grade bentonite clay, and your diatomaceous earth. Now, what you will notice in conjunction, now these are all that you take at night, just before bed, and also, something else in the box. But they're designed to rid your body of parasites and to clean your colon. Okay, now everybody who has done the regimen or they're on board to do it this time around, you will see me stress the importance of hydration. It cannot be overemphasized. It's not something that we can take lightly. You don't do a detox, you don't try to move toxins out without assistance. Hydration is a way in which you assist your body to get it out of your body. Okay, so staying hydrated is key. Again, all of those, for those who know that I talk about feces quite a lot. Disclaimer. So you will notice that it's recommended that you take it at bedtime. Why, pray tell, bedtime for all of those? So that, of course, the laxatives can work overnight as you rest. And then when you get up, you have your action. Added to that, that's when the worms come out to play as well. Okay, so while you resting, the party begins with them and they're going to feed and all that kind of thing. Now, that's not to suggest that they're not up in the daytime, depending on the types that you have, the type that you have. They may be up, and we've discussed the different ways that we can tell, the anal itching and all that kind of thing that we've discussed before. But ideally, they come up at nighttime. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, when they're ready to peruse and see what's there, see if you have any bread in your belly, and they won't find none. They're looking for all the dairy and that type of thing. They will recognize that there's none there, but what they will find is the bitter herbs. And just like you have refused to put it on your taste bud because you don't like it, it's the same dread they have over that type of herb. So when they come up feasting, they're going to feast on something that they don't like, and the intention is for them to die there. Now, recognize this. These are worms, right? And remember, they're not in isolation. Remember, they have their own ecosystem. They have everything inside of your body, meaning also they for persons on Zoom, if we do get cut off, y'all know the drill. Just follow the link and come back in. So far, it's been cool. Tequila, you have a question?
Another question, there's a contribution based on my experience.
Yes, please share. Facebook, I hope you guys can hear. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, when I discovered Sarans Detox Challenge, I was very confident in taking part of that experience. In my first cycle, I lost 12.5 pounds. In terms of transitioning to the vegan diet, it wasn't difficult for me because there are many dishes that you can prepare in vegan. And most people think that is a restriction just because we decide to take part in a vegan diet, a detox. And there's so many things that we can prepare that is nutritious for our bodies.
That's true.
Also, the emotional aspect plays a major role. And what you put in is what you get out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I couldn't agree more. We tend to limit our thinking about ourselves to our physical bodies only. Is that all you had, Tequila, or you have more?
No, so I just want to give encouragement to the newcomers that is taking part on this journey.
Uh-huh.
It's always a beautiful experience. And even though it's just for 2 weeks, it's so
Oh boy, you broke up there, Tequila. We can't hear you. Oh boy, I think we lost Tequila there. If Brian, if she's still on, and
express.
okay, we can hear you now, Tequila.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you after you said, even though it's just for 14 days, you went without
Yes.
sound.
Even though the detox experience is just for 14 days, we can go forward and use your regimen in our daily routines. That would be beneficial for our health.
Yeah. Hmm. Definitely. Thank you very much, Tequila. Thank you. I appreciate your contribution very much. Um,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do I appreciate that. So now where should I go? Um, Tequila has done quite a few detoxes with me. And even though she lost the 12.5, uh, oh, I just lost Zoom. Sorry, Facebook. Let me just get them back in quickly. Okay. Hi. Okay. I forgot that. Okay. All right. We should be back. Welcome back, everybody. Um, I'm hoping and praying that I'm not sideways. Okay. All right. So we're back. Thanks for joining us again. So Tequila, I was saying, I don't know if she's back on. I hope so. Tequila. Okay. So Tequila has done the regimen a number of times. And yes, she lost 12.5 pounds in the first cycle, and she was our first place, or second, or runner up in that cycle. And I'm very happy to see persons like that because that was her result for the first one. However, she continues to do the work. She continues to hike. She continues to move her body. She continues to eat well. And for that reason, she has had even more than 12.5 pounds, over the period of time. So it's just testament to the fact that it's not a gimmick. A lot of times, I mean, if detox is a gimmick in this day and age, to some extent, I would have to agree because there are a lot of persons, they just push this, this flat belly thing and that type of world. That's not a world that I truly like to be compared to. I don't like to I don't like to be in that realm in a sense because I know for a fact if you're not talking about the entire being in terms of what you're putting in, what you're, the entire holistic approach to detoxing, then to me it's a gimmick. You understand? So Tequila, I just want to say how proud I am of the work that you have done and the work that you continue to do. Um, and I really, really appreciate the way in which you're also willing to share in terms of when we have our detoxes, you post your food as inspiration to a lot of people. And I really, really, I'm very, very thankful, Queen. Um, I can do a lot, but at the end of the day, things like that I cannot do. You understand? So when there is a community effort and you have a community assisting with showing people a different paradigm, it's something that I'm absolutely honored every time we do it. And again, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for your contribution in terms of what you do in the detox WhatsApp group chats as well. Thank you so much, Queen. All right, so
Welcome.
thank you. And we will link up, aerobic class coming up this week. So I'll see you again soon. So next up, we have our skin and hair. Now, our skin and hair is one of the favorite supplements for a lot of people too. That's one of the things that you do the detox, you're gonna see the difference. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. A lot of us may experience, the ups and the downs in terms of the skin, but by the time you're closing out the detox, your skin is gonna be beaming. You're gonna be looking good and feeling good in terms of your topical, your exterior. And so the skin and hair is one of those supplements that, yeah, very, very, very popular. It's one of the supplements that people stay on after the regimen is done. So that is your skin and hair, your burdock, your neem, your papaya, your fenugreek. And again, it's greener because not Cynthia, Patrice, it was literally, the formulas were literally made the day I said collect your boxes. That's how fresh I wanted the the herbs to be in terms of that. So you're getting not even a week old thing. Those were made on, today is Sunday. Those were made on Thursday. So very, very fresh. Fresh from the tree, fresh to your belly. All right, so next up we have our hormonal support powder. It sometimes comes in capsule form. This time around, I wanted to make it powder form so that you could add it to your smoothies and your teas, your juices, and that type of thing. I gave a little bit more than would be in your capsules this time around. Um, yeah, in terms of hormones and things like that. And again, when we talk about hormones, we tend to limit it to a woman issue. It's very, very, very far from the truth. You understand? Hormones are messenger systems in your body. Messengers, we all have them. We tend to put our whole concept of hormone as a woman being hormonal when she's pregnant, or you balance your hormone in order to procreate and things like that. But everything in your body, the way in which your thyroid function, the way in which your adrenals function, those are all hormonal functions. And in terms of being out of balance, we can see it very, very clearly on men around us. So it's not something that's, specific to women. And so, hi, Keisha, peace and blessings, Queen. So, the hormonal support, an absolute great formula, um, especially for these times. Um, the formulas in that one is ashwagandha, it's maca root based as well. It cannot be overemphasized how much we need to breathe, how much we need to just chill, just level a little bit. We have come out of a time that was very, very testing for a lot of us. And as a result of that, we're just like this. Everybody's just kind of almost manic over the way in which we do certain things. And yeah, that formula is one that will cause you to just breathe, just woosah just a little bit. You know what I mean? Ashwagandha, very, very good for, hyperactivity, to the panic thinking and things like that. Okay, I see a hand raised. Keisha, is that you? Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Hi, Peace
I just,
Queen. How are you?
how are you? Peace and blessings. I just want to piggyback just a little bit on
Mhm.
what Tequila was saying from a slightly different perspective, because Tequila, she is like the energy queen when it comes to certain things. Me, I struggle a bit more. I've done the detox quite a few times, but I tend to struggle a bit more sometimes, even though my focus is definitely to do the best that I can, and I'm pushing forward and I'm not quitting. Sometimes I have down moments, sometimes I backslide a little bit. You understand?
Yeah.
So I know that now there are many different people who are watching. There are many different people who will be doing the detox, and we are all at different levels.
Yeah.
So now I want to speak now as the encouragement to those persons who it might not be so easy for. Right. You understand?
Yeah.
And even for persons like us who might struggle a little bit, I just want to encourage you that it is very possible. It's really mind over matter, and
100.
you just have to push yourself. No matter how many times you feel like, as Tequila said, like sometimes looking at it from the outside in, you might think, this is so hard. When we get eat, I just two beans all the time. But no, once you get started, you realize how creative you can actually be, like, and how simple and inexpensive it is. And that.
Oops. Keisha was mute. Okay.
If you get you put one green pepper and you grate that, you saute some onion and some garlic and a tomato, put like a pink Himalayan sea salt. You will be amazed at the result. So
Yeah.
it is very doable. And I said to myself at this point, because I'm going to do this detox, and I said to myself,
Ooh,
and just get up. You really need to be disciplined and become militant and fulfill your purpose in this life. And it starts now. Once we can't look at what was, and we can't study about what is to come. We have to look at what we have now and make the best of it now. And that is a decision I make. And when you do that now, because this is not just about the physical, this is about the holistic. You're really addressing so many other aspects of your life, and you're going to notice positive results. You're going to notice your relationships get better. You're going to notice you feel better about yourself, which is the whole self-love aspect.
Yes.
You're going to notice that you're actually using the talents and gifts that the Most High gave you.
Exactly.
And using it to help others and to uplift others and yourself. And it all really comes together beautifully. And when you take that step, sometimes when you really start to make some positive moves, that's when the test and the trial and then come. You understand? But you just have to hold firm. And as I said, and one of the things I really love about you, Saran, aside from your loving and kind nature, is your non-judgmental stance. So even if I might slip up and have that cup of coffee, because I really do enjoy coffee, even if I might slip up and have that cup of coffee, you've taught me not to beat upon myself. You've taught me to just listen, just do better next time and be consistent. You understand? So this detox, as Tequila said, even though it's just 2 weeks, right? This 2 weeks can change you. That you're provided with through the detox. Yeah, you know where I'm coming from, right?
I do.
So it's really I just want to encourage everybody to come with a open mindset, a positive mindset, a community. There for each other, and it's only positive results can come out of that. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for your encouragement and your love and your support along the way, for helping to hold my hand and keep me up and help to keep me focused. And I'm very, 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 very so thank you very much, sister.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you. Let me hold off on the box just a little bit and let me just talk a little bit about let me talk from a very genuine place as the facilitator. The truth of the matter is, when I said, okay, I'm going to do a detox, for those who know the story, you know, I used to do it, and then I've been wanting to do a cleanse for myself. And I was reluctant making capsules, um, especially when you're making a small amount, is let me see if my assistant Melinda is on the call, because she knows if I tell her to make 15 capsules, it's like punishment. You understand? So making a small amount of capsules is not fun for anybody who does herbal work and that kind of thing. And I really wanted to do a cleanse for myself, but doing small batches and stuff, it's cumbersome, it's tedious. And so what I did, I just said, you know what, do a flyer and put it on WhatsApp. And I did so, and I got a response immediately. I'm in, I'm doing it, sign me up, and that type of thing. So that forced me to be accountable, responsible for doing something actually for everybody, not just for myself. And I saw what it did the first time, and I was like, I really want it to be, because I know what my dreams are in terms of doing wellness work and things like that. It's a lot bigger than what it is now. But when I envisioned the detox blossoming into something beautiful in terms of fulfilling my dreams, the truth is, I never ever imagined that it would be so wonderful. And that's the best word that I can use, full of wonder in terms of seeing. And I'm getting goosebumps and chill right now. But the truth is, when you see the community, and that's something that Keisha mentioned, and it cannot be said too much in terms of the impact on the community. When you see that you have gathered together 50 plus persons on one group chat on WhatsApp, and we know how a group text can be on WhatsApp. It can become overwhelming very, very quickly. And if you're not into technology, it can be an annoyance. But what we have been able to foster in that group in terms of community building, in terms of community spirit, I would not have even prayed for it. It's so much more than what I anticipated it to be. To see the sharing of meals, to see persons saying, "Oh, I need the recipe for that." To see the exchange, to see the love, to see the camaraderie when we go to the hikes. Like Keisha said, the very first time she did the hike, she was right at the end, at the bottom of the hill, and everything. Oh, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. And there was never a, oh, let's go ahead and just leave her. It never felt like that. It never felt like I'm here and I have these competencies and forget about who can hang with it. It has always been a rallying of the entire sisterhood, of the brotherhood of it's just something so much grander than I had prayed for, honestly. And people like Keisha bringing out her children to do the hikes, to see the impact that it has had on her family by extension in terms of her children getting supplements to do these things. They're not going to forget it. They're not going to forget it. And so I mean, it's not just our generation, Keisha, that it has impacted. And after we would have done our time here, the information stays here. And that's something so deeply, deeply special to me. Um, so overwhelming amount of gratitude, 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 gratitude. Thank you so much for the energy that you bring. For the yes, you say it's non-judgment, and it should be non-judgment, because show me one of us here without flaws. Show me one of us here who, toes the line every day and do the absolute best, and you're in your higher self every day. The truth is, none of us. None of us. We all try our best. We all try. And that's all we can really do. So thank you so much, Keisha, for sharing. Thank you. It's always love. It's always love. It's always love. And let me just take a minute. Yes, the love, the sisterhood and stuff, but big up to Keisha. Big up to Keisha, because the very first detox she did, um, she won the same round with Tequila, getting the runner-up position with 12 and a half pounds. Keisha nicked her out just by half a pound, and she lost 13 pounds in those 14 days. However, when I tell you, it is not a gimmick. It's something that you can apply to your lifestyle and see the benefit long term. Keisha has lost over 40 pounds since beginning in July with us. And again, like she said, she has fallen off of the wagon, but the information is here and the awareness is here. And so once you have the awareness, you might slip, you might fall, but you're not going back down that gully again. You understand? And so once you're already armed with the tools to get you where you need to go, those slip ups are very few and far in between. And so applaud, much respect, salute, salute, salute to the queen. Because 40 pounds is not, it's not something that you lose unless you have exercised a shift or some level of discipline. So again, mad respect. Okay. Thank you, Keisha. And that's that community. Okay. So which should do next? Okay, so I'm gonna continue with the box and we move on with the raw and liquid day capsules. So on the regimen, there's a day that we're required to eat raw foods only. There's also a liquid day. Now, the liquid day doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have anything hot. Your soups can be hot that day. And so you have all your, if you're doing your sea moss, if you're doing your coconut water, your smoothies, your green juices, anything that's going down in liquid form. And also, you're encouraged to do pureed type soups. Okay, so you have your soups, you have all of that, and so that's your liquid day. On those days, and also the day that you're doing your raw food, you'll take these capsules just before bedtime as well. Okay, so that's that. And then let me round up the box by saying this time around, substituting for the oregano oil, or in some instances, the liquid chlorophyll, we have the nasal steam. Now, I have been consistently receiving calls about persons with sinus issues. Whether or not we want to just call a thing or not, I'm going to say congestion in the head. What do you think that congestion is? It's not ear. You understand? It's mucus. And so this time around, the nasal steam, I've added to our regimen this time around to help clear that out. Now, for those persons who, and just going back a little bit, it works in tandem on your raw and your liquid days as well. So those are the days that you're going to use that. Of course, the instructions in terms of how you do your nasal steams are going to be shared in the group. But of course, it's, you're covering your head, you're allowing the steam to penetrate the nasal passage and decongest and do the work that it's supposed to do in terms of breaking up some of that mucus and moving things out. You're expected to also open your mouth, inhale it, breathe it out, breathe it in. And it's something that most of us should enjoy. If you have a lot, if you're always somebody who, some people you go around and they always sound like they're hauling up a whole. So, you know the type of people I'm talking about. There's always a lot of congestion in the head. If that is you, then you're encouraged to do it every other day. on the regimen for the 14 days. Okay, so every other day you're doing your steam. If not, you're going to roll with the punches and you're going to go and you're going to make sure you're doing that on your raw food and your liquid day. Um, this bad boy right here, this is another one. It's not the loudest flavored tea. It's your nighttime tea. Okay, it's not you see like your morning tea, you have your bay leaf, your lemongrass and stuff like that. The flavors meet you at the tip of your tongue type thing. With the nighttime tea, it's very, very subtle, but it's a tea that works. It gets the job done in terms of putting you out. Okay? Running around busy, busy all day, and the nighttime tea is one of them ones that are going to tell you, okay, the day is done, go sleep. All right, so that's your nighttime tea for you. Of course, um, y'all know I'm Antiguan, so you already know when you think about nighttime tea, automatically you know salsa leaf paramount in something like that. And so that's really the most powerful herb in that blend. Okay, and of course, let me just talk a little bit on soursop leaf because a lot of us um, seem to be sleeping on our soursop leaf. Antiguans don't just do your soursop leaves when you're doing your detox because all of us know somebody with a soursop tree. Okay, you don't go and rake the trees as some of. Let me just give a little story of a friend of mine in St. Lucia. They said, Asians would go there to build whatever project they're working on. And so in this area, that's where the Chinese were. And they said they would get up and wake up in the morning and realize no leaves on the trees anymore. All the soursop leaves disappear because they know. Okay, they know and they appreciate. But I shouldn't really use the word appreciate because if you appreciate plants, if you appreciate herbs, you don't rape the trees that way. You always leave something back because life, you know. But they know what time it is in terms of the healing benefits of salsa leaf. We, on the other hand, we take it for granted. So it's in everybody's yard. Nobody can remember when last they do like a salsa tea or anything like that. Our foreparents knew what they were doing. So don't sleep on it. Get activated. Okay, and just for those who don't know, they were actually raiding the trees because of the cancer fighting properties in soursop leaves. Okay, so let's not take um, our gifts for granted. Okay, so that rounds out our box. You guys would have noticed this time around, you have bingo, your promise cards. So these cute little cards are at the top of your box this cycle, and the intention is it has two, one for week one and one for week two, and you're expected to write your name at the top, your full name, and this is a promise that you're making to yourself, not a promise to me, because when you make a promise to somebody else, you can always half do it. You can always whatever, because I won't know and that type of thing. So as much as you want to be accountable, you can always pull a fast one on somebody else. But when you make a promise to yourself, you know for a fact whether or not you have fulfilled it. You know for a fact if you're half doing it. All of that is in you. And so the judgment, the penalty, the punishment, all of that is there for you. And so it's important for us to make promises to ourselves and stay true to the words that you put on that paper. So it could be, let's say, I promise to eat according to the regimen for the entire 14 days, or I promise to walk a mile a day. Whatever the promise is, after you have, become familiar with what the requirements of the regimen would be, then you make a promise to yourself. Make a promise to yourself and be true to yourself. Not because you should honor your word, but because you're worth it. Okay, there's nothing that you could possibly put on paper that cannot be accomplished if you're being really honest when you write what you write on the back. And so stay true to yourself. Okay, so that is the box. Of course, like I mentioned, for our international customers, you would have gotten a deluxe box, so it would include a few other items that I would not have shown tonight, but all in the same vein. Everything that's in here is included in yours and a few others as well. Now, again, for those who are doing it, I know when you get your box, person's like, oh gosh, how am I going to take this? How am I going to do this? And, seeing all the supplements can, to some, be a little bit overwhelming. So ideally, you want to separate your supplements out, get your Ziploc bags or your paper bag or whatever, and you're putting all of your morning supplements in one, your afternoon supplements in another, and your bedtime together. And so it makes it less overwhelming. You just pull your morning stuff and you're going through bam, bam, bam. And that's that, your afternoon and your bedtime. Okay, so you don't have to see everything every time you reach for your supplements. So that is the box. Again, I'm very proud of what it is. I have seen the benefits that a lot of people have reaped from it. Now, I do sell the box by itself. I have, however, noticed that people perform better on it when they're in the challenge mode or when they have a community of assistants around them. Oh my goodness, Zoom in 10 minutes. Y'all know I'm so sorry. So I also want to remind us that as much as this is a powerful little box of goodies, real helpful herbs, in isolation to everything else, it's a non-factor. And I truly mean that. And that's to show that this thing that I do, it's not a gimmick. Okay. And so I want to encourage everybody to embrace the entire thing. Don't just rely on the box and think that you should eat the same way you continue to eat your when it comes to bread, Caribbean people, we are ridiculous in terms of the amount of bread that we eat, the ton of rice that we eat. So it's expected for you to do everything in tandem. You're eating well, you're thinking well, you're moving your body. And that's the way in which you approach life from a holistic point of view, where you can get maximum benefit. Okay, so that is the stuff. Now let me go to the books. So in the regimen as well, you get your handbooks. This one is the journal. So this is your journal. It comes with your checklist inside. You're expected to tally your score at the end of every day. It's out of a possible 11, and you do your score every day. Be honest with yourself. Anything that you put in pen, you are making a sacred agreement in some ways. Make sure you write truthful numbers. Don't lie to yourself with pen. Okay. So that's your journal. The assignments in terms of the emotional work will be posted in the group, as opposed to being in the journal this time around. Why? For the persons who did it the last time, they're opening the book and they wanted to go and see, okay, day one, what's the assignment and things like that. What I like about the community, especially when we're working together, there's power in numbers. And so as opposed to one person jumping ahead and doing day three's assignment, I want us all to tackle every day together as a collective force. Okay, so the assignments are going to be posted in the group, and we're all working on this particular energy field together at that particular time. And so this is not going to be everybody's favorite book, because emotional assignments are not something that we just sign me up for some of that. I didn't quite get what you explained about. Let me see. Okay, so Tammy, let me go over it again. No, I was saying with the journal as a part of the detox box, you're going to be given assignments that you're expected to do every day. Okay, so the assignments now are going to be posted in the group chat. And that way, we're all working on a particular thing. As a part of the detox as well, you get your detox gems. Your detox gems would be things that you're utilizing nature, you're using your body in particular ways to assist with detoxing. Last time around, all of those were in the journal in terms of day one, day two, day three, and that type of thing. So you could have access to it and you could see, okay, tomorrow's assignment is going to be whatever. I like the mystique about posting in the group chat and everybody going, oh, no. When it comes to like your mommy and your daddy issues and things like that, everybody is like, oh, no, together. But the benefit is collective force, collective security, and that type of thing. And so this time around, everything will be posted in the group chat. And so we're all doing our earthing together. If that's the assignment for the day, it could be earthing and grounding, or it could be sunning. It could be, regardless to what it is, we as a community, as a collective, will be doing it all together. Okay, so that's that. That's this is where you will write and cry and that type of thing that comes with the territory, right? And let me just say, Zoom is going to cut off soon, but if you could just use the same link, come back in. I'm not going to be long once we get back in. But I do want to talk a little bit about the benefit of doing emotional work. I'm not sure if she's on the call now, but I had a client who did the detox with me, lost her father in the last week of the detox, and her body remained stagnant, didn't lose a single pound or anything like that. And she came with the heavy energy. Of course, it's an emotional time for her. And just before, and when she went on the scale, she didn't lose any weight, nothing. Right? And within 3 days of doing emotional work, processing exactly what happened in her life, she was able to come back 3 days later. 3 days later, 13 pounds lighter. So it's not something that you can pass over in terms of the way in which our bodies function. A lot of times is directly connected to our emotional issues. Again, we are whole beings, whole, and so it's not just body over here and that. Everything is interconnected, every single thing. So dealing with your emotional issues is a way of improving your physical health. And so this book, this is your journal, and you get your assignments and you do your work in that. Okay, so the other one is the handbook. And so this one has all of your, it has your food tips, it has your meal plan, and it also has your information in terms of how you're going to compile your plate. It's all well and good to eat plant-based, but if you're going and you're getting, okay, let me get some green bananas, let me get some breadfruit, and you just have a whole bunch of white, you just have a whole bunch of starch on your plate, it's still not a black balanced meal. It's still not healthy? Is it better than the norm, the standard American diet or the standard Western eating? Absolutely, it would be better, but it's not as balanced as you would like for it to be. And so the handbook details exactly how you're expected to compile your plate. You have to have live foods every day, people. Salads, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like lettuce and that type of thing, but you need live foods on your plate. Great beet, great carrots together, make a little faux, what you call it, coleslaw and that type of thing. You have to have live foods on your plate. Sprouts, introduce your sprouts on your food. Deck it out, let it look good, because we're going to eat with our eyes first. Okay, so that is all contained in here. Making smoothies. Not all smoothies are created equal. Not all of them are healthy. And so knowing exactly what items to select, what you're going to blend together, all of that information is in this book. The mucus flush is a signature part of the detox as well. That's utilizing citrus, and in this case, we're doing your local lemons, or some people call them sour orange. You could use your American yellow lemons. You could use your local limes, and you're blending 3 citrus together. And of course, you could use your grapefruit as well, and pineapple and water, and you're just blending it. You're not going to strain it. You're going to blend it as fine as you can get it. And that, let me tell you, that on your when you take that down, you definitely feel the difference. Some people are like, oh, because of the citrus or whatever, but again, it depends on what you're using. You can also use your orange, but you're using 3 citrus, your pineapple, your water, and you're doing your blends. Of course, the way in which you do it is all in here as well. Zoom just got cut off. Let me bring them back in, and then we're going to wrap up for today. Okay. Thank you so much for jumping back on so quickly. What's going on? Yes. I'm sideways, aren't I?
Lemongrass. Saran.
Hello? Who's that shouting my name?
Tanya.
Oh, hi, Tanya. How are you?
I'm good.
Do you care to share what your experience has been on the detox? Tanya is another one that came in last time with her dukes up. She didn't come to play.
Yeah, sure. So yes, I was ready. My body wasn't behaving the way it should, and I wanted to try something different. And I just so happened at one point I saw your post on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I could reach out, and you told me sure, and I got it. I got it, and I tried, and it wasn't too bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the honest truth. Only thing was like trying to get the food items.
Okay.
In terms of like a good recipe that I like.
Okay, gotcha.
Once I figure out what I like, I'll just do it over and over again.
I see. Okay.
I enjoy the aerobic stars a lot.
Yes, indeed.
And yes, and I did actually lost, it was 11 pounds, I think.
No, it was 12 pounds.
12, right, it was 12 pounds, yes. I lost 12 pounds on the 14th. So I'm trying it. I am trying it again.
No, we're not trying it. We're doing it again.
Yeah, that's right. I'm doing it again.
Yeah. Okay.
And I encourage everyone to really put their best foot forward and do this detox challenge.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Tanya. Yeah, 12 pounds is not an easy feat. You know what I mean? And especially fresh, first time and that type of thing. So props to you. Props to you. And thank you for also coming out. And again, like Keisha would have done in the past as well, coming out to the detox, not to the detox, coming out to the aerobic classes and bringing your daughter. You know,
Yes.
For me, the best thing that I can see is the information being passed on the generational lines. For me, that is huge. That is major. And so I just want to thank you for. How is she anyway? She's missing you, right?
Yes, she is, but she's doing good.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
All right.
All right, and so you're doing it now, and you're in the U.S. So
Yes.
I expect to see all them, you know, the extra greens and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
Yes, sprouts like nothing because it costs nothing. certain things that we have to, oh yeah, like your strawberries and that kind of stuff. Yeah, brag and boast. Brag and boast, Tanya.
Whole Foods and Trader Joe's today.
Okay, so you charge it up for tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, that is wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for your contribution, and not only coming to the aerobic class too, but for bringing your energy and your vibe and all that kind of stuff. I still have videos that I never posted and shared and stuff, so I'll send that to you. But thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you. Is there anybody else on Zoom who would like to share of their experience on the detox? I don't want it to just be me selling it. What has it been for you? Let me see who's on. Let me see who I can call out. Evelyn! You know I'm gonna call you out. If you're able to share, please do. Cynthia, hello. Oh, okay. And
I tried to multitask, washing bottles, sterilizing bottles.
Okay.
And I'm listening in to the kids on the tablet at the back too.
Okay, got you. Let me just talk for Evelyn. Evelyn came on board last time. Tanya came in first place with her 12 pounds, and Evelyn said, not today. I'm 13 pounds. So she came in with 13 pounds in 14 days, and she won that cycle. Thank you so much, Evelyn. And again, in terms of the extension to the community, Evelyn was there. Her baby was there. Her husband came out. Her son came out racing her on his scooter, and even the dog. So the health and wellness extended to the entire family, literally. And so it's always a beautiful thing to watch something like that. Evelyn, thank you for always bringing your energy. It's always such a, it feels good to be in your presence. And I just want to thank you for all of your support and, all the different things that you did last time around in terms of sharing and commenting and adding to the aggregate that we have in the WhatsApp group. All right, so thank you. Let me say who else is on there. Is that everybody going to say the background loud? Who's Cynthia? Is that you?
Yes, it is.
Yes, Queen. Peace and blessings. How are you?
I am great. I am excited. I have background noise, but I've resorted to a quiet space just for now.
Okay.
When I came on, I had a lot of issues, mainly bowel issues.
Mm-hmm.
I am a person that normally eats not fully plant-based, but I'm not a meat eater and so on, but just a lot of binging, emotional eating. I love snacks. I love chocolate. Mm-hmm. Those are my comfort foods, so I don't really sit to a meal. That mm-hmm. was my thing. And, of course, the water intake was an issue for me. I would mm-hmm. drink, but just not enough. Mm-hmm. Anyway, through a coworker of mine, I learned about the plant detox. And actually, when I called Saran, she said, I have 2 more packages left. Mm-hmm. I kind of stepped up by faith and said to her, you know what? I'm going to get one. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what to expect. It just sounded like something that I needed, especially the emotional part, although I didn't complete all my assignments and so forth. Mm-hmm. It was a struggle, partially because I have school-age children, 3. Mm-hmm. I work as an independent contractor, so appointments. I don't drive. So for a lot of reasons, I had to sort of fit in where I could and take as much advantage of the program. Mm-hmm. One of my challenge was, initially, it was finding meals to prepare. Like, I didn't want it to become boring. Mm-hmm. But after a while, I had to kind of mute my detox group chat because even when you weren't hungry, all this food coming through, beautiful plates.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I am just not one to eat a lot, so it was just, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. So it did help. It was a lot. The other challenge for me was that I don't eat a lot. I'm not used to sitting to a meal. Mm-hmm. So I could not complete the 3 meals. It just felt like I was eating all the time, taking supplements all the time, or drinking water. Always felt extremely full.
Right.
So I would and I don't eat early. So my breakfast time might be about midday because I just don't normally feel for anything except tea.
Okay.
And, so there were little things that I had to adjust myself to. Mm-hmm. The rice and shine tea, oh my gosh, that is to die for. As a matter of fact, I pinched it, so I had extra after.
Okay.
The same thing with my nighttime tea. I am a person that wasn't sleeping well, always had the mind working. Mm-hmm. But I found when I had my tea, I slept like a baby. Mm-hmm. Meaning I don't even get up to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And I wake up feeling very refreshed. Mm-hmm. One of the highlights for me afterward, I didn't weigh before I started. Mm-hmm. I am never a person that likes to scale. I have not weighed in years. Mm-hmm. But I knew that my clothes was fitting differently, loosely, and so on. So that is how I made my judgment. I can't tell you if it's 10, 12, or 20 pounds, but I know it was positive for me. Mm-hmm. I thoroughly enjoyed the aerobics classes. I don't drive, so I had to kind of limbo on, thank God for Raspberry. He used to give me a little ride up. We would be late, but we would still get a good workout. Yeah. And the choreography and so on for the aerobics was fun. So I was able to bring it home, and the children, even up to now, we do it as a workout together.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
And my daughter would say, Mommy, your favorite song, Iron Man, Iron Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up to
Iron
the other day,
Man.
we would keep doing it. We would do it 3, 4, 5 times in the morning. So
Wow.
they were able to take part in it, and they love it.
That is wonderful.
They eat whatever I prepare. They eat. Just the other day, I realized that I prepared meat, not meat, but fish and chicken, and they don't want it because from since then I would have continued an extra 2 weeks getting the box on its own, and that is how we've been eating. It's not perfect. On a Saturday, I like to take off the tip of the bread, the brownie bread, and I still have a little binging, maybe with a snack or a chocolate. But it's a whole different mindset for me because the guilt tripping happens after I would have done what I'm not supposed to. And not only that, I find that if I do, once I'm steady and consistent with what I'm eating the right foods, when I do put in something I'm not supposed to, listen, like for 2, 3 days, I'm bent over. The difference in my stomach is significant, right down to the evaporated milk.
Oh.
Especially that.
Your body will tell you, Your body will tell you.
Well, friend, my body talk little too much. Little too much. And so I'm excited. It's not, it's doable, very doable. And I think the experience is going to be overwhelming, tremendously in a positive way for persons who take. I look forward to, even if I have to put it aside, I'm looking forward to July as well. It's just something that I want to be a part of. And Saran, and that energy and all that love, there will be a benefit from it. So don't be scared. She's always willing. You can call her. I'm not a person, I'm very shy. So I'm not a talky person even in the chat. But I can call her privately and she advises, and it doesn't matter. She likes to talk about my favorite topic too.
Well, I don't know what it is.
So we have had conversations and I can be open and change. One thing though for me is that the colon cleanse doesn't work for me, maybe because of my issues.
Right.
So I do take them, but I take it in addition to something else, which is in the form of a plant-based, the super colon cleanse, which is a powder. And it works for me then. So I'm not one to get up in the morning going because again of my issues, and I've changed the way I eat. I can feel that I'm on track now because I was behind, like sluggish maybe for more than a week. And that is how I've been for years. But now I can have something to eat today and I can know that I am on track because I would expel it tomorrow, maybe a day the most.
That's wonderful.
And I know it started with the original detox. Okay, so I just want to say, the community, oh my gosh, Keisha, I met Keisha at One Stone.
Okay.
And Keisha didn't know me from Adam, and we had a conversation. I love her vibe. I'm not familiar with a lot of the others, but for her, she stuck out.
Yeah.
And so it's a pleasure to be a part of this group. It has fostered a lot of things in me. I like the fact that you are an entrepreneur and it's wellness, holistic at that. And I'll tell you this, it has inspired me to now go back to school to study something that has to do with, in terms of massage therapy and all that sort of thing.
That's great,
Cynthia. You don't know, you have no clue. You have set me on a kind of track that there's no turning back. So thank you. Thank you guys, and enjoy the rest of
Aw, Cynthia, you're gonna get me emotional. Oh gosh, that is so sweet. That really is very, very touching. I'm happy to hear that because again, the whole is not just this. This is an avatar, you know? This is just the encasement that we get up and move around with. It's important for us to keep it optimal, but at the same time, there's so much more to us outside of this.
Yeah.
And so to hear that you've been inspired to go back to school, that means that touched me deep, deep, because that's great. That is great. Shifting here. Yeah.
Yes.
Because once up here shift, everything else is easy. All of our attachment and things like that, all of our self-doubt, all of our self-questioning, self-sabotaging ways and things like that, once here shifts, then the floodgate opens in terms of what we can do. You know, so I'm
and
so
we're
happy.
powerful. We don't know how powerful
Ooh,
we are.
you better talk the thing, girl. Oh gosh,
True.
that is
It is true.
that's so true. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Ooh, you got me feeling real good. Real good. Cause that counts more than you losing weight on the regimen because that's a lifelong change. Your children will know. You understand? In terms of you going back to school, this stage in your life, it's not something that even, even you would think, oh, you're doing it and it has this impact, when in fact the impact is so much greater. I see how close you are to your younger daughter, and um, you know, she's gonna remember mommy going back to school at that age. So that means if she decides to go a particular route and she changes her mind, she's not going to question whether or not she can pivot. She's not going to question her ability to move away and shift and make different choices because of the examples that you have set now. So yeah,
And we have to understand, Saran, we're never too old to start over. Listen, I have changed career paths so many times, meaning I just don't know. And this is the first time that I actually know that this is what I want to do. This is the passion. It was there, but I just couldn't figure out within the system that we have and our environment and culture. It just felt so far-fetched. But eventually, I just felt like, you know what? You're just not performing. You don't feel like you're in your element where you're supposed to be doing what I'm currently doing. And I found the self-love aspect of it, just a lot of things. I take time out. I actually take time out for me because I think I deserve it.
Yes, indeed.
And that is important. So thank you. Guys, you're going to love it. I'm going to see a lot of you coming back. I'm going to hear a lot of the experiences. I don't know if Saran is going to hear from me again. This is the most I've spoken.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Cynthia. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Got me feeling good. Whew, not just, it's like my soul dancing right now. My gosh, thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to share before we wrap up? Let me see who we have. We have Wendy. Is this my Wendy? Is that my Indira? Well,
hi, sir.
Peace, Wendy. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing good. Back on it again. I've had a little challenge. Oh, let me say I strayed a little bit, traveled, did, a couple of things. And so my bowels are a little tied up. So I need to get it all cleared up and going smoothly again. But it's always a pleasure being a part of the detox. I started, can't remember when.
It's been a while.
You've always been a great support, Saran. you made a whole bunch of difference in my life, and I appreciate that. And of course, Keisha and all the other crew, always great to come back and, just be in that connection or in that space for the period we are, and just know that, there are other people who are of like minds and, just wanting to be positive, wanting to be a better version of yourself. So I encourage everybody who is joining for the first time. It may look overwhelming, but as everybody said, you will get there. Just do your best. That's all. Do your best. That's all. Don't beat yourself up. Just do your best. And once you do your best, you'll realize that, you will always want to challenge yourself a little bit more, and you'll become better over a period of time. Don't worry about all those nice dishes. They weren't doing it all before. Over a period of time, we learn to do it.
Talk the truth.
So if it's the first time, just don't get overwhelmed and stick to what is in season. That's one of the things I remember Saran said. Stick to what is in season. So if pumpkin is in season, then use pumpkin because it's cheap and it's good. Go on Pinterest. People go on Pinterest, go Google vegan and stuff like that. You go a long, long, long way. So again, happy to be a part of this session and looking forward to interacting with you guys. All right, love you.
Love you too. Love you too, sis. Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you for sharing. Man. Anyhow, thank you, Wendy, from the bottom of my heart. I really, I know how, I remember very clearly how we met. I remember when you said, okay, I'm gonna do the detox, and and I, just like you, I can't remember how many you've done. It's been quite a lot, and every single session you're a star player. No joke. I mean, star player. Wendy is one of those persons who she packs her meal for the day to take to work. And so you see tea, you see smoothie, you see coconut water, you see the pomegranates last season because that was what was in, and then you see an entire the entire breakfast and lunch, and what seeing that visual representation does, at least for me, it proved to me and to others who watch your pictures as you post them every morning, is that you took time to love yourself. You took time. A lot of times we figure that we do not have the time for that, and we can't do this and we can't do that. When I see your pictures, it's indicative of, just like Cynthia said, how powerful we are. The ability to get up and pack that, so you don't have to go to work wondering, okay, what now, looking here, there, and everywhere, running around trying to figure out your day. It's actually possible to plan and develop a structure around your desires. And your desires at the time is to really be effective and to be as mindful over what you're eating and making sure that you're preparing your meals and things like that. So I mean 12 gun salutes. Thank you so much, Wendy. Wendy always shows out. And for those who are coming on board now, just know, don't judge yourself too hard, because Wendy has been doing it for a while. And when the girl come for slay, she come for slay. And she come to slay every session. So I'm sure this time around will be nothing short of the usual energy from you, the usual inspiration in terms of sharing what you do throughout the day. And it also, again, that snapshot of her food and everything that she's taking with her to work is also very telltale about how much you're supposed to hydrate your body, because you see the liquids. Yes, you see the food containers, but you see the liquid, and you then recognize, okay, I'm not drinking enough. And so things like that, as much as I put it in black and white in the handbook, when you're able to see it live and in color, I mean, the pictures do more than my words could ever do in the book. So I'm also very, very grateful for things like that because it gets the message implanted right here. So Wendy, thank you. You know it's love. It's always love. Thank you so much for everything that you do, all the ways you encourage me, all the ways that you push me to be better, to improve. It's it's always received with love, and I give you love in return as well. Thank you so much, Wendy, and we're going to get that little tangle situation sorted out. All right.
Thank you.
Please, thanks, and in a hurry. Yeah.
Good night.
Okay, so peace and blessings. Who's on the call?
Good night.
Good night. Hi, Indira.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Yeah. My piece, my little nugget
Mhm.
is I remember starting, just before starting, there was a friend of mine that started it. Before she started, she was telling me about it. I was kind of curious about it
Mhm.
because I was like, detox and vegetables. I love my vegetables and stuff, but no meat and no wheat and no bread and no. So I'm like, what are you gonna eat? So I was curious, and I saw her and I saw what it was doing for her. So I said, okay, the next time around, I'm gonna go.
Who is your
The
friend?
next time around, sorry,
Who is your friend?
Jocelyn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So then I decided, okay, and that was last year. So I'm like, okay, last year, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in. But by the time I go in, I'm like, I can't get in because you were out. I'm like,
You were
oh
sold out,
gosh.
yeah.
And next time again, I'm like, what's going on here?
So you tried
I'm
twice?
not getting to do this thing. So then for the new year, I'm like, I wonder if you're doing the detox stuff. So Russell was saying, yeah, I see you post something. I said, eh? So that's how I end up calling, and then I got through.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God. Then start doing it now. I'm like, well, the meeting is saying that you will go off, and it's not normal for you to not go off every day and stuff. But I'm like, I go off regular. I go off twice a day. I drink my water and stuff. But going on that detox, it just added to me because I'm like, I go off in the morning regular, and I go off in the evening. Going on the detox, I was going off twice in the morning, and then I'm still going off in the middle of the day. And I'm like, where's all this thing coming from?
Right inside of you.
So I'm like, I'm urinating more. I'm like, is this even normal? But I was glad. It was a good experience. Like I said, everybody's saying the posting of foods, it caused me to like experiment in using different vegetables that I've been seeing around. I've never tried. So it's like the mushroom. I've always seen the mushroom. I didn't know how to buy it. I didn't know how to use it. But I went online. I even asked you. You told me what's the best one to use. And yes, I have continued. And it wasn't me alone. Getting my husband on board was a challenge. He's like, to give up meat and to give up meat and to give up meat. But nobody's like him now. He's even more into it than me right now. He's not doing it this time around, but we have continued with the no meat and the more vegetables and stuff like that. Every morning we have a lemon water, and it's amazing. And he's not back on this famous meat that he was talking about.
Break the attachment. And hey, don't even act like you were playing with your pictures last time, right? Because them, I mean, hello. You were like,
I love colors.
Oh my goodness, those plates were memorable. And last time around, she is somebody who's into kitchen gadgets, right? Kitchen appliances and stuff. What did you do? You did a pasta
Oh,
out of
I did yam rice.
yam rice. I'm like, hello. Like, I mean, the level of creativity is insane, man.
I would just experiment. I was just trying to like sub what we normally eat with
Mm-hmm.
vegetables. So we
Mm-hmm.
love our pasta. I had the zucchini pasta. We love our rice. I I I, I was trying to do pasta really and truly with the yam,
Uh-huh.
but because of the texture of it, it
Mm-hmm.
broke up. So I'm like, oh, there you go,
Rice.
rice.
Excellent. That's fantastic. Oh boy. Oh.
So yes, I'm very grateful for the detox. I did lose pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and the people around me, I didn't even have to tell them anything. They were like, I see you losing weight, and then they see the
Mm-hmm.
food I'm eating, like,
Wasn't
where
it
you
nine
getting
and a
all
half
that? So
pounds? 9.5 pounds, right?
I
Oh,
well, no, I think yeah, 9.5, 10, something like
so
that.
I think it was 10 pounds. Either way, I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. In 2 weeks to
yeah.
lose that, I'm like, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the
So
important, go ahead.
uh,
No, go ahead.
I was saying I'm very grateful for it. I actually got a few people on board. I have
Mm-hmm.
family members because I was telling my aunt that lives here and she wants to try it, but she was now bragging to family overseas. So now they're like, I need a package. I need to do this. I
Right.
need to. So trust me, without me saying anything, they could have seen the
Mm-hmm.
results. And
Definitely.
yeah, I
Wha-
must say thank you very much.
Thank you,
Very grateful.
Indira. Thank you
And
very.
I'm back on it again.
Yes, indeed. So tomorrow we get cracking.
Oh, yes, for
And
sure, for
please
sure.
tell Shantas, please give him my best and tell him where the meat to go.
Will do.
All right. Okay then. Peace, Queen. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Um, people, we've been at it for a while. Is there anybody else who would like to share before we jump off? Um, Jalil, hi Scott, how are you? Jamala, you ready to share? Or are you gonna shy out on me? Either which way is fine. We've been on the call for a while. Um, huh. Thank you guys. You wanna share, Jamala? If you do, put your hands up or unmute, do whatever you gotta do. Um, if If not, I think we should sign off. I don't know where the time went. Anyhow, your detox box, your plant power journal, and your plant power handbook. Two very useful tools in the regimen. Of course, your handbook has all the information that is going to be very helpful for you, not just for the 14 days, but also after after the entire regimen is done. Um, Thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining me this evening. I've seen a lot of new persons. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the information with others and for assisting me with building the network, impacting the community in the way in which I truly pray, to be able to do. And so it's a team effort. Yes, I'm the face. It's the wellness queens because I stand on the back of many queens who came before me, who were deeply connected to nature. And as much as we have drifted away from it, it's really almost magical to see how when we reconnect to nature, the possibilities and the different things that unfold for each of us. So I want to thank all of you for taking the time out to spend time with me today. Thank you so much for um, most of the persons on Zoom are actually participating this time around. So thank you again for trusting me as we jump off tomorrow morning. We get cracking. If you've done the detox several times, again, I'm encouraging everybody. If you've done it more than 3 times before, it's time to advance the way in which you eat on it. Include either an extra raw day or an extra liquid day on your regimen. So let's leave the structure in the book for the persons who would have done it once or twice before, but it's time to up your game. Okay? Peace and blessings, people.
Saran,
Hi.
would you be doing the mucus flush and smoothies this
You know
time?
what? Sadly, I don't think I am, but I think my assistant will be, and she will prepare everything by me, so I will keep you posted. Same thing,
Okay.
Wendy. I know there's a group of persons who look forward to that. I don't want to just drop the ball on everybody, so but I will be reaching out for assistance with that. All right. Um, but if there's nothing else, I bid you guys peace, blessings, and more than anything else, WELLNESS, 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 wellness. Wellness is a reflection of your state of being, not just the state of your body. The way we be is much more than just the avatar that we're in. It's also the way we think, the way we feel, the way we're able to foster relationships. And so, with that, I bid you farewell until next Sunday. Next Sunday, we'll be in full detox mode. So, yeah, we're going to pop on again and share and have a conversation that is very, very necessary. Um, Again, peace and blessings, love, light, and wellness. Until next Sunday at 6 o'clock. Good night, everybody. Peace, peace, peace. Bye, Zoomers.